Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to another edition of An Hour with Bob. I guess the news, the headline news now is Gordon Fox is out of the hen house. Gordon Fox has retired from the speakership in the state of Rhode Island, and now the battle begins. And by the time you see this, it'll probably end. The vote, I think, is tomorrow between Mattiello and who is it? Who's the other guy? Marcello. They're both from Providence, too, aren't they?
No, Marcello's from Situate.
Situate, Providence.
Democrat.
Though. Yeah, they're both Democrats.
Situate.
Nope, it's part of Providence, too.
Situate?
Providence, yeah.
Situate doesn't have a
I
border
know,
with Providence.
Cranston, Providence, Situate. I think he goes, I think he's got part of Providence and Cranston and Situate, I think.
Situate may be, connected to Cranston or Johnston.
Right,
Yeah.
but I think it goes that way. That's the way they were
There isn't any
describing it.
district that I know of that connects Situate and Providence.
They do if it connects through Cranston or Johnston. I don't know, but that's what they were saying. They
I'll
were
look it
calling
up and
Situate,
I'll tell you.
Providence.
I'll look it up and
That's
I'll
what.
email
That's
you.
the way they described it on the news. The Situate, Providence, which was
Really?
odd to me. Yeah,
That's
so
hard
it
to
must
believe.
connect from Situate, Johnston, Providence,
But you gotta, you
which
gotta
kind of doesn't make sense to me.
you gotta be careful what you believe. You hear a lot of things on the news.
On the news, really?
Yeah.
What do you hear on the news?
I had a friend today told me her son was in a car accident back in January, and the local paper, the Valley Breeze, reported the kid was dead.
Are you serious?
Honest to God. They screwed up because
They
there
messed
was
up.
a 19.
They messed up.
They messed
Oh,
up.
this
Well,
is Dr. Peter Simon swearing over here on my show.
So they confused another. There was another crash,
Right.
where a 19-year-old did die.
Oh, God.
And they got the reports screwed up.
Messed up.
Messed up.
Well, hi, folks. We got Dr. Peter Simon here with us tonight. Bleeping him already. How you doing, Doc? How you doing? Nice to see you.
Very good to see you, Bob.
Well, we go back a long way, right?
Yeah.
How many years?
I was trying to think. 37.
Is
I
it that
believe.
long?
Well, my son is 40. No, wait a second. My son's 41, and he started T-ball in Woodlawn, and that was when I met you because you were on the board of the Woodlawn Little League.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how I met.
Wow.
I coached Dupas Oil. They say Dupas, but it's
Dupas.
Dupuy.
Oh, Dupuy.
Yeah, right.
Dupuy.
But it was
Ernie's a good
pronounced
friend of mine.
well, they're good people.
And by the way, I coached that team too.
So I took over for you.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, when I moved up to the senior
To
league.
the board, yeah.
And the
to
board. I was on
yeah,
the board
exactly.
too. Yeah. So you recently retired from the health department.
Correct.
And how long ago? Just a couple months ago, right?
In December.
Oh, December.
December 13th. Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Now, what do you think of this Mattiello Marcello thing?
What I know about it is
Yeah.
that Mattiello was
He was the,
sort of in line.
Oh, he's a majority leader.
Yeah, and he was in line
Yeah.
to sort of take over
Right.
the
So
same,
the, so the
same
question
sort
is,
of,
yeah, the
same
same
sort of connected group.
Right.
Yeah.
So the question is, do we want that same sort of group in there? Although we don't have a choice.
It depends who we are.
Yeah,
right?
we don't. Yeah, we don't have a choice. But
We do have a choice, but it only comes every 2 years.
Right.
And if we keep electing the same people over and over again,
We're
and
going to the
expecting
same result.
something different to
It's
happen,
not happening.
What's that called?
It's not happening.
What's that called?
Stupidity is
No,
what
it's
it's called.
crazy.
It's crazy.
insanity.
Yeah, it's insanity, and that's what we keep on doing.
Exactly.
And
Because you know who Gary was? He was a governor of Massachusetts, and they named gerrymandering after him.
oh, really?
Even
Yeah.
though he pronounced his name Gary.
Gary.
So gerrymandering is a system
Yeah.
very alive and well in Rhode Island where
course.
politicians get to pick who votes for them.
Right. What area? That means the area. They pick the different areas of the
They
city,
carve up,
or they carve
yeah,
up
they
a
can
district.
carve up, so they make sure that the people that they want to vote for them are in their district.
By the way, I ran the first time out in 1972 for state representative, got beat in a three-man race, pushed over to the third column, got beat by 2 votes, and right after the election, they gerrymandered me out of my own district. I was in Woodlawn, you know where I live, right?
absolutely.
The center of Woodlawn. I live in the center of Woodlawn, folks.
Right.
They actually took 7 streets, my street being the middle, the fourth of the 7 streets. They took 7 streets out of my district and put it in Fairlawn. So I had to run from the Fairlawn district, which I did 3 years later, 4 years
That
later.
was 2000?
And oh no, that was
Before that?
1978, 76, and then I lost that election by 37 votes.
Well, they only redistrict every 10 years.
Right.
After the
Yeah,
census.
I happened to be right after that.
You got nailed.
Right after I.
Yeah.
Anyway, we didn't have you on here to talk about politics.
Why not?
I don't know. I know
We
you're
can
very
talk about
politically
anything, right.
astute. There's no
Well,
doubt
I've been in
about
government
that.
for 37 years.
You've been in government that long?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, this is a government issue.
This government,
And-
your government.
My government, it ain't my government. It ain't
No,
my
it is.
government. This is an opportunity for the government or the state legislature to, actually, it was an opportunity for the 6 Republicans to take a stand together, which they didn't do apparently.
They got split up.
Well, it looks like Trillo and Doreen Costa, are going with Mattiello,
Well, they
which
must,
surprises me.
it doesn't surprise me.
Well, they got a deal. They worked some kind of angle.
Yeah.
Whereas if they wanted progressive things to happen, if they wanted changes,
They want to make
went
sure that they beat the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. They want a more conservative leadership.
Oh,
So they're going for Mattiello.
right.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Whereas they could have had a little voting block when it came to the speakership, and maybe made some better deals, some better arrangements to maybe get the master level.
Yeah, I don't know what the real count is.
Well, we
find
won't
out
know
tomorrow.
till tomorrow.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You'll see this. You'll know the count.
Well, that's what's
before
going
we
on
know
right
it.
now.
That's what's
Everybody's getting counted.
Yeah, they're getting counted.
1 to 1. You know,
1 to 1.
with a little arm.
Yeah,
I mean,
little-
that's when deals are made.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
when you have. That's when, if you're a rep,
Well,
that's when you're supposed to have
exactly.
the most.
You got to have a list.
cagoots. Yeah.
Exactly. Here's what I need. If I'm going
Right.
to give you my vote, here's what I need from
And
you.
this is what's happening down in South County with the bridge, the toll on the bridge.
It's
Tiverton and Little Compton.
That's the game.
That area, they're going to get their way. They're going to get.
Politics is, you vote for people and then they get inside and then there's politics again.
All right.
That's what's going on now.
All right, now I got to tell you what my politics is.
Okay, good.
Being a chronic pain sufferer, what the heck has happened with the pharmaceuticals and the U.S. Congress and the legislature? Why have they totally clamped down on medication? They've totally changed the rules of medication. They stopped giving medication, yet they passing laws around the country to legalize marijuana. I mean, it's the craziest thing.
So the short answer is because they're human,
Really?
number one.
All right.
And ready, shoot, aim. So-
Ready, shoot, aim?
Yeah, that's what
aim
humans
after?
do. You're ready, you take a shot.
And then you aim.
And then you figure out it didn't work.
Right.
We missed.
Okay.
So they're ready, shoot. Now we have to wait
And see
for
what
them to
happens.
realize that, restricting people's access, people who are dependent on pharmaceuticals to control their pain, who are going to have difficulty getting those pharmaceuticals, what are they going to do?
They're going to do crazy things, maybe.
Well,
Some
they're
of them.
going to get relief for their pain, and if they can't get it through pharmaceuticals, they're going to get it through street drugs.
Right.
So you know what a dime bag is?
Well, I think I know what it is. Yeah.
What is it?
It's
$10 worth of cocaine,
Cocaine,
or
yeah.
heroin.
Yeah.
All right. You know what a dime bag costs now
No.
in Providence? $6.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's cheaper.
Guess what?
They're trying to flood the
They're
market?
trying to capture the market again, because they lost the market to oxycodone and all this other prescription drugs.
Really?
Yeah.
So now, so you're
So the
saying,
addicts, not people with pain, but the addicts, the people who got into this like the old-fashioned way.
Right.
They've been moved away from heroin. So the drug people from who are bringing illegal drugs into Rhode Island,
Right.
they lost their market share. They're going
Really?
to get it back.
so this is all about the almighty dollar then?
Business.
It's business, right? Whether it be illegal or legal business. And the farmer, what happened? Why did it happen in the first place on the federal level? Why did they clamp down so bad, so big, so bad on pharmaceuticals within the government? Because they were saying that there were too many deaths.
It's an
caused by-
epidemic of people dying of overdose, and
Right.
increasingly with pharmaceutical agents, because there's such a huge effort to market and push this stuff through physicians into people's care plans.
Well, first of all, they should eliminate that bull where these these drug salespeople can go into the doctor's office and say, I got a golf course, golf
Yeah.
trip
You
going to
know
send
the
you
bad
on.
joke about we lose a certain amount on each piece, but we make it up in volume.
Yeah,
This volume-driven system, everybody's got an incentive. The drug detail people, nicest people in the world.
right.
Sweet, gentle. You know how they get paid?
Commission.
they get paid on a volume basis. So when I'm the doc, they want to make me write more prescriptions for their products.
Right.
And that's what's going on.
Right.
And, you know, medical education in the United States, about 2002, cost $5 billion a year. The drug companies spent $50 billion marketing directly to physicians in the same year.
$50 billion.
Yes. And we spent total to educate physicians, $5 billion.
So, but now they're marketing it on TV. They're marketing their drugs on TV.
Yeah, right. If you're, you know, if you're stiff in the joints, there's something.
Yeah, you take
you're not
this.
stiff.
Yeah,
you
you want to get stiff.
Yeah,
you do
exactly.
this, right?
You're watching the same shows I am.
Yeah. They're all on.
Really, they know exactly who's watching at whatever time of the day, and you can tell by the kinds of products that they're trying to sell you. You know, your testosterone's not high enough.
Right.
You know, this will take care of that. It's a business. It's a huge business.
So you're saying that all these changes were caused by the pharmaceutical companies?
Well, no, the reaction was to the epidemic of deaths.
Right.
So public health around the country is basically saying, we got to do something about this. And the first thing, you know, ready, shoot, and after that's over, maybe we'll aim.
Well, then answer me this question. Why does medication, almost every medication you want to buy, cost less in Canada than it costs in the United States? Same drug. Well, I got you there.
No, I'm just trying to make sure I explain it.
Okay, go ahead.
Because in the United States, our pharmaceutical industry spends, you know how much it costs to develop a drug?
Well,
Typically,
it could be millions and millions.
it could be
Billions.
hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
So in order for the world to get this new drug, which, you know, in some cases actually have benefits, not always, but sometimes they actually do.
I love when they say at the end how many bad things.
It's a free market, so they got to be able to make the money back. Where are they going to make the money back?
Off us.
Exactly. So, you know, when I was working on vaccine development, SmithKline came up with a vaccine for hepatitis B. Okay.
Right.
And it cost, when it was first developed, it was one of the first vaccines that was made in a genetic methodology. Right. They made it with, you know, bacteria, made the protein. They used that to, you know, as a vaccine, and that was about $100 a dose here. Right. In Taiwan, it was $1 a dose.
Right.
Right. But it was because they needed to get more. Right. They needed to get more people using it. So they could get the marketing data to be able to to get the marketing data to convince more people to use it. So they needed it to be used especially in Asia, where hepatitis B is very, very common.
Right.
And it's usually, it leads to, you know, liver cancer and really chronic hepatitis. So it's a very, very serious problem over there. So that's really how it works.
Right.
And we are bearing most of the development costs in the United States.
Because I went to fill a prescription a few years back. I was taking OxyContin for a short time after my 5th back operation. Right. And I went to fill a prescription because I had to pay for my own prescription.
You were not covered by insurance.
I wasn't covered at the time. Guess what a 1 month's prescription of that drug costs?
I had no idea.
It was $2,480.
You see, most physicians, when we write an order for something or a prescription,
you don't even know what it costs.
We can't possibly know, because each drug, each insurance company, each plan within the insurance companies potentially have different kinds of deals with the pharmacies. Right. So there's no way for us to know.
Yeah, but the person that doesn't have coverage really gets the shaft.
You know, unless they can get it for free, which is becoming increasingly possible. You know.
Well, that's with the lower end of the spectrum.
Right. Yeah, but if you have
you're somewhere
money,
in the middle,
you're
shafted. You're shafted.
Right.
Yeah.
You're self-insured, as we say.
Self-insured.
That's how they call it.
Now, what happens as we talked off camera? You said that when they established the D section of Medicare.
Medicare Part D.
Part D,
yeah,
the
right.
prescription drug coverage. That was a payback
That was a gift to the pharmaceutical industry
from
from Bush.
From Bush.
Because he required that there be no competitive bidding
So
for pharmaceuticals.
So they can't get a deal.
They got to pay what the companies want.
Are you kidding me?
No.
No wonder Medicare. So
that
damn
added.
expensive.
Somebody wrote, I think recently, it added $70 to $80 billion a year to the Medicare program.
And that's still the case today.
Yeah.
That whatever the
I
promise,
don't think
Pfizer.
I don't think that's changed. This is not one of the reforms, I don't believe, in the Affordable Care Act. That's still in place.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
It may be kicking in. I can't remember exactly when, but up to now, it's still in place. It may change in the future.
Wow.
They had, they built, how they build these things in to take place in 2014, 15, 16.
Right.
It may be out in one of the, what they call the out year.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask you one more question. I got to get rid of you.
Okay.
Why did the Affordable Care Act fail to control health care costs in the first place?
Because
basically the same thing.
Because giving everybody a ticket to the theater, okay, when there's no more seats being built, isn't going to work. They didn't build any more, they didn't build any more access.
Right.
They just gave everybody a ticket. So everybody's going to be lining up in the same places they are now.
Like to go to the doctors, you're talking about.
You can't get
going to
in.
the hospital.
You want to go to a good primary care doc in Rhode Island? Good luck. You got to know somebody. You're lucky.
Well, that's all I got is a good primary doctor.
But I'm just saying, for the most part,
right,
a lot of the cost control is based on the theory that if we all had a really good primary care doc,
we wouldn't have to go to
we
the
wouldn't have to go
accident room.
chasing after all these subspecialists who keep repeating these, expensive workups that, feed their own revenue stream.
Right. Yep.
So that volume, is killing us.
So that doesn't work either. So
it's not nothing's changed. That part of it's still the same. There's nothing changed in the way people get paid. It's still fee for service. It's still volume driven.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
you know what?
Now everybody's got coverage, or a lot more people got it.
Right. So I'm going to have you back. We're going to do a whole hour
Anytime.
just you and I.
Anytime.
You and I, Dr. Peter Simon. I got to let him go because I got a busy show tonight. But I want to have you back. We're going to talk about this whole thing.
Anytime, Bob.
Because now that you're retired, right? Now you can spend some time with me.
We can talk.
I can't believe we go back that long. Get us out of here. We're going to do a commercial. Not a commercial. We don't have commercials on the show. We're going to do a clip. We're going to show the old I love Jay Leno, and we're going to show Jay Leno's.
Last show.
No, not his last show. It's really about the street walking. What do they call it?
On the street.
Jaywalking.
He would be interviewing
I love
people.
that. I've done that many times.
I know. I've seen you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love that. How dumb people can be. All right, get us out of here. Dr. Peter Simon, thank you for stopping
pleasure.
by. I'm going to hold you to that. You're
Absolutely.
coming back. All right?
I'm retired.
All right. Go ahead.
Willing to accept the enormous challenge of answering simple third-grade questions. People think, does that take all day? No, it takes about an hour and a half. We talked about 15, 20 people. We used 9 or 10 generally. We're going to go way back. We'll start with the very first jaywalk, and we'll just show you some of our favorite moments. Take a look.
When we went out in the street the other night, we did a little jaywalking.
Who was the first man on the moon?
Armstrong.
That's right. What was his first name?
Louis.
Louis Armstrong. Has there ever been a female astronaut on the moon?
Was the chimpanzee that went up there a girl?
I don't think the chimpanzee went to the moon.
Something did. There's Neil Armstrong, and then I think there was an ape gorilla. It was a monkey. It was something.
So Neil Armstrong went up first,
Yeah.
and then when it was safe, they sent a monkey. Is that what you're saying?
I believe.
Yeah.
So.
Who was the famous French emperor that has a pastry named after him?
Was that creme brulee? No.
Creme brulee, General Creme brulee. Let's say your girlfriend was going to Bangkok for 2 straight weeks. Where would she be?
At home with me.
At home with you.
I got some lyrics here. Can you finish them for me?
Sure.
Okay. Here's a Jimmy Buffett song. If the phone doesn't ring,
Don't answer it.
no, I'm sorry, sir. No. You have a pickup truck?
Sure I do.
Dog?
Ford.
Dog. They're very good.
This is like the first time my husband and I have been out, you know, since my daughter was born. It's like, I
Now,
think,
is he a cowboy?
no, he's a Mexican.
Where there's smoke, there's people smoking. Where there's smoke, there's people smoking.
Yep. Well, I mean, that makes sense, but that's the expression. Where there's smoke, there's
There's a chimney.
yeah, but I mean, where there's smoke, what else happens around smoke?
People get sick.
Yeah, but smoke comes from what?
Oh, from wood.
Well, yeah, but what happens to the wood is what? What happens to the wood? Where there's smoke, there's
This is a tough question.
where there's smoke, there's
There's
Oh, we're back on an hour with Bob. I'm over there, right? With Adrienne. Adrienne! I love that name. You get that?
I get that all the time.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, it's been
Adrienne Norberg.
Norberg.
Norberg,
correct. Yes,
right?
Yes.
The newly crowned Mrs. Rhode Island 2014, right?
Correct.
Now you just were crowned what, a couple weeks ago?
A couple of weeks ago.
Down at
exactly,
Foxwoods?
Down at Foxwoods, March 14th.
Oh, wow. That was just 10 days ago.
Correct.
Wow. I can see why you were crowned.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. How you doing?
I'm doing really good.
What does it feel like being the newly crowned Mrs. Rhode Island?
And it feels wonderful. At the same time, it feels a little bit overwhelming right now.
Really?
It does. I didn't expect.
I was just going to ask you that. I was going to ask you. Here's the question I always
Sure.
ask. I've had most of the misses, and teens on over the last 20 years, and I always ask them this question: did you expect to win?
No, I did
didn't?
not. I did not. I have to admit, I was the oldest competitor competing for Mrs. Rhode Island.
Really?
Yes, and I haven't competed in over 20 years.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was very nervous, to say the least.
Wow.
So I did not expect to win. Actually, I thought my first runner-up was going to win. I felt that she shined. I felt that she did a great job. Her kids were running up to her through the competition. And I was like, you know, I was so impressed with that. And I'm like, oh, the judges are going to see that. They're going to love that. My kids are grown. So I just figured she shined, and I thought it would be her. I honestly thought it was going to be her.
Well, so legitimately, when you were talking about and hoping for, looking at the runner-up,
Yes.
you're thinking that she's going to win, whereas most people say that and they
Right.
don't really mean that.
No, I actually told her behind stage right before we went out, and I said, whatever happens, I said, if it is you, I said, I have a gown that I bought, I never wore, you can take it with you to nationals, I probably won't wear it. And she was like, oh, stop. But I'm like, no, I'm serious. And I honestly thought it was going to be her.
Oh, well, how many phases was the competition with it?
There was private interview.
Right.
Then there was swimsuit competition,
Right.
evening gown,
Right.
on-stage question.
Right.
And then they narrowed it down to top 5, then top 3, and 3, 2, 1 winner.
Wow. I've judged it before. They
yeah.
haven't changed it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've judged it before.
Yeah,
I
it's-
actually judged it. No, I judged the miss and the teen, I think. one
Oh,
year.
nice. Yeah.
Same pageant too.
Oh, the missus.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
I enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
you know what I had the biggest trouble with is getting it down to even 10, let alone 5.
That must be a very difficult job. I would not want to be one of the judges.
Ray came in to me and he said to me, he goes, the other judges had already left the room, and he came in to me and says, well, you know, hurry up, you got to get going. We got to get going. He says, just add a couple that you need. I said, no, my problem isn't that I got to get to 10. My problem is getting down
Yes.
down from 18. I got 18 still left
Right.
here that I don't want to get rid
I
of.
know, it's so difficult. It is difficult. But there only can be one winner.
Yeah.
But it is difficult.
Now, what does your husband think? I know he's here. What did your husband think about you in the pageant, first of all, and winning, second of all?
Actually, my husband supports me.
Yeah?
Very much so. And he encouraged me to do whatever I had to do to prep for this pageant, and he supported it the whole entire time. I think he was a little bit taken back by the end result. I think I made him nervous. I think the whole competition made him nervous.
Really?
Yeah, being and on the outside, he said, I felt like it was watching one of my children, and he said it was exciting for him. But he's a great supporter.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part of getting ready for the whole thing?
Oh, of course, always diet and exercise. That
Really?
is such a tough time. You know, staying in shape and watching what you eat and counting the calories and exercising, I mean, daily. I think that's the hardest part of prepping for the pageant.
And you got how many kids? 2?
Altogether, we have 4 children.
Okay.
Okay. My husband has 3, and I have 1, and now we're a blended family, so now we have 4. We have Kenny Jr., who has 2 children, so I'm a grandmother.
Wow.
That makes me a grandmother.
She's a grandmother. Yeah,
Yes.
you look like a grandmother.
And we have also our oldest daughter, Allie, and then Erica, and then my daughter, Dara.
Wow.
Yes.
And what do your kids think about this whole pageant?
They're very excited.
Yeah?
Yes, very excited.
Now, the oldest is how old, the boy? How old is he?
27.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's 27. So our children are very excited. They cannot wait to get down to Nationals.
Yeah, okay. Where's Nationals?
Nationals is in Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, God.
Yeah, coming up.
When is that? When is that?
It'll be coming up the end of August, August 29th.
Oh, God. That's
down
got to
at
be
Houston.
still warm
Yeah.
down there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh.
I'm sure it's going to be very
Tucson,
hot.
Arizona?
Tucson, Arizona.
Why didn't they make that in like November or
I don't
something?
know.
Huh?
I don't
August
know.
in Tucson, Arizona. Who booked that one? My God.
You have to talk to Ray and
Oh,
Elaine.
my. I will talk to her. I'm
It's
going
not
to
even
send
them.
them an email tonight. August.
Yeah.
Elaine. Right?
Yeah.
August in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, actually, it's not up to them. Obviously, it's the
Right, I
owners
know
of
that.
the
I know
national
that.
pageant. But yeah, that's when it is. So
Wow.
it's going to be a busy summer.
Yeah, so and you got to stay on the diet regime and all that stuff until that happens, right?
Yeah, I'll definitely get back on it. Of course, after the pageant, you have your little time where you indulge yourself.
What
a
did you
bit.
do right after the pageant? What did you eat right after the pageant?
I ate a steak.
Did you really?
Yes, I had.
Did she devour it?
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah. The whole cow, right?
Yeah. And yeah, we had bacon and we had bread and we had potatoes. And,
Wow.
yeah,
That's what I'm going to have tonight. What are you talking about?
I filled up on the carbs.
That's for a
I
pageant.
did. I had my share of carbs afterwards.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do you do for fun? What is a mother? I can't call you a grandma. You're not a grandmother.
Well, for fun, well, we love to travel.
Really?
We live on Johnson's Pond in Coventry.
Oh, that's nice.
So we live right on the water. So we have a speedboat.
Oh, that was my next question.
Yes,
You got a boat, huh?
we do. And we take the kids tubing. And we just bought this summer, we have 2 new additions to the family, which my husband just bought the family, 2 new jet skis.
Oh.
So
listen,
they should
I
be
know where I want to
arriving.
go.
Yeah.
I want to go hang out at your house.
So we do a lot of water sports in the summertime.
Really? Is that what keeps
Yeah.
you physically fit?
Partly, mostly just I run a lot. I'm an avid runner.
Really?
And I like to cross train, yes. So I think that's what mostly keeps me fit. But summertime, we're very active anyway. We're always on the go. We're always going somewhere.
Right.
And we keep very active, so that's what keeps me in shape. And my 2 grandchildren.
And how old are they?
One's 8 years old, Jordan is 8,
Yeah.
and Peyton is going to be 1 in a few weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you got a real,
Yes.
you got 27 to 1, huh?
Yes, 27 to 1.
27 to 1. How do you like
Right.
that? Huh?
And I'm the youngest of 6 siblings and the first to be a grandparent.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how does your family think of the idea?
Oh, they are so excited. They keep they call me and they kind of fool around with me. I have an older sister who is an aerobic instructor, and every time I take her class, she has to point out that I am a grandmother and I am her youngest sibling. And she taunts me through the whole entire class, and she'll say, "Come on, Grandma, you can do it."
Well, you're having fun with it anyway, right?
I am. I really am enjoying this. I am so blessed and honored for this opportunity. So I am enjoying every moment of it.
Well, that's great. You certainly look like a winner.
Oh, thank you.
I knew who you were anyway before although we've
Yes,
never really had an interview before, but I knew who you were
right.
long
yes,
before.
right.
I've seen you.
Yes,
I've seen you
because
before.
we did Toys for Tots
That's right.
back in December.
That's right.
Yeah.
Every year. You going to do it next year?
Absolutely.
Well, this year.
Yes.
This December.
Absolutely.
Toys for Tots, my 21st year coming up.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
that was
fun.
a great
That's
event.
yeah.
That is a wonderful event, and
Yeah.
would absolutely be a part of it again.
Oh. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful to be here.
Yes, well, I'll see you in, I'm not going to say I'm going to go to Arizona. I don't know if I, you know, nothing to do. Maybe I'll go to Arizona. I love Arizona, but not in August.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it'll cool down by late August. Maybe it'll be okay by late August.
Maybe.
Have you ever been to Arizona?
I've never been, so I'm looking
I have.
forward to it. Yeah, you
I
have?
yeah.
Very
yeah.
hot, I bet.
It's a little warm, but then they'll tell you, oh, it's a different type of heat. It's dry heat.
I don't know about
Hot
that.
is hot.
Hot is hot,
Hot
right?
is hot,
103, you know,
Yes.
it's still 103.
Yeah, exactly. I just came back from Thailand. It was high 90s every day. It was hot.
Is it humid there?
Yeah, it was a little humid. Yeah. It was right on the water though. It was right
Right,
on the water, so you're getting the moisture from.
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse. Well, heat is heat. as far as
I
I'm
know.
concerned.
That's the thing. I feel the same way.
All right. So what do you got coming up? Do you have any events coming up
I have
this
a
month?
lot. I'm right now. I'm just so overwhelmed. And I want to. That's what I want to do as Mrs. Rhode Island. I want to give back to my community. There's a lot of good causes out there. My special cause is Special Olympics. So
that's
next
cool.
Thursday, myself and my daughter will be modeling in the annual Special Olympics fashion show.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And also giving back to the community by attending a lot of functions and organizations to support them, and also to support our local businesses here in Rhode Island.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
stopping by.
Thank you so much.
Mrs. Rhode Island, 2014, Adrienne Norberg.
Norberg, correct.
All right. We'll be right back after more of Jay Leno, right? We got another piece of Jay Leno?
How many commandments are there?
10.
Can you name any of them?
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. What was the Gettysburg Address? Have you heard of it?
Yes, I've heard of it. I don't know the exact address.
I don't know the exact address. You've heard it. Finish this expression. A rivalry is... You ever heard that expression?
I haven't heard that one either.
Never. It's like a... it's like a trumpet spoken to. 4 score and 7 years ago, our forefathers...
Who art in heaven.
Thy kingdom come. There's a flag right up there. See that one? Mm-hmm. How many stars on that flag?
It's moving too fast to count them.
How many U.S. senators are there?
Too many.
Too many.
Wait, there's like 52, isn't there?
52. Why do we have 52?
Because there's 52 states.
Because there's 52 states. Who wrote the autobiography of Malcolm X?
Couldn't tell you.
Who wrote the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin?
Couldn't tell you.
Who would write your autobiography?
That'd have to be my friend Justin.
Don't buy the cow when you get the milk.
From the store.
No. When you get the milk for free.
Milk's free.
Well, no, it's not free, but why buy the cow if the milk is free? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, does that have any relation to life? You know what it's referring to? Do you live with your boyfriend?
I do.
Not married?
No.
Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free?
Oh, makes sense now.
Okay, you go to a party, it's BYOB. What does that mean? Bring your own
bitch?
Bring your own bitch. I can't top that. You ever call AAA?
No, I don't drink.
Menage a trois.
I'm not sure.
I had a hunch. What separates your inner ear from your outer ear?
Your brain, right?
What president was named Tricky Dick?
Tricky Dick.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton.
I could see how you could make that one.
The night continues. This is a fun night, a fun show. The Amazing Race, you know I've told you this before. It's my favorite show on television. This is a fact, by the way. It's my favorite show on TV. I've been watching it since it started, 20 episodes ago, not 20 years ago, but 10 years ago. Yeah. Big Phil. I like Phil. And we have the winners of The Amazing Race that just happened a month ago, right?
Yeah, well,
December.
yeah, just a couple months ago. Yes, in December.
Amy, how you doing? Nice
Good.
to
How are
see
you?
you
Nice
again.
to see you too. I think the first
time I was with you, I was, what, 16 years old?
I know,
and
you
I
were
was
what?
Miss Rhode Island teen.
Miss Rhode Island teen, you were here. That's right. That's right. Did you know that?
I knew that.
Yo, you
And
did know that.
Now she's got to keep up with Mrs. Rhode Island.
I know. How do you like that? We
Second.
go, wow, you're next then,
You're
right?
next.
Oh, Jason, congratulations.
That's
First on an hour with Bob.
That's how it's going to go down right there.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so we got Jason Chase.
Case.
Case. Jason Chase. Jason Case and Amy Diaz.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you something right off the bat. I am absolutely amazed. Like I said, I watched the show from the start. I watched every one of them. Didn't you guys ever have a falling out?
I think
Not that I saw.
a couple times.
No, but there was no time. I seen you go right on your butt, sliding down, running down the ramp down to the dock, and you just get up and you run again. Any other woman that I would think of would have been screaming and yelling at her boyfriend, saying, "What the hell are you doing running on so fast? That's why I fell." You just got up and ran right behind him. Do you remember that?
I do. I was in Alaska. That was for the $1 million.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was it.
Exactly.
And I think that's what it was. It was for the $1 million, so nothing was going to stop us. We knew that there was
Yeah,
no
but-
time
Yeah.
to complain. There was no time to stop and argue. There was no time for anything but time to race.
But you were like that through the race. I'm looking at this. Couldn't I have got that lucky? But you won the $1 million before you won the $1 million, kid.
That's probably true.
No, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I knew her as a beautiful young girl and an amazing person. And I saw her being tested, and she pulled through with flying colors.
She did. She hit the $1 million flower drop from the plane.
Yes.
That's what gave us the lead.
That was the best too.
Isn't that
What you did on the
beautiful?
second trip?
Second try?
Yeah, the
Second try, right?
Yeah.
Nailed it. Bullseye.
Yeah. A couple of them
How do
had
you get better
real
than that?
trouble with that. How about that other couple there that I didn't like them?
Tim and Marie.
Oh, Tim and Marie.
Yeah.
With the pink hair?
Yes.
What's
yeah.
wrong with them? You didn't
See?
like them?
The drama that you didn't get from us, you got from them.
That's true, you did.
Did you ever? Well, they weren't together though. They
No,
used
they
to
weren't.
be
They
an
didn't
item.
stop fighting, so we didn't want to take
We
their
didn't-
airtime.
yeah, we didn't.
Oh
They
yeah,
took
that's
her.
right.
You
Yeah,
know,
they
so
were
we-
fighting all the
yeah.
time. But they were kind of nasty too. Who'd they steal a car from?
Us.
Yeah.
I knew the answer to that
That
question
was
when I asked it.
us. Yes.
They stole your car, your cab,
In Vienna,
right?
Austria.
They put your stuff outside the cab,
Yep.
and then they get in the cab. And
Well,
then she said she didn't do it.
Allegedly.
Yeah, no, then she wanted
No,
to
we saw that.
she wanted
We
to
saw
blame
that.
it on the animals.
Right. We saw that she took the stuff out. You didn't see that, but we saw that.
Yeah.
She took the stuff out of the car, put it on the street, and then took the Jeep and said,
We
"Well,
didn't
I
see
didn't know
that.
it was yours.
Yeah.
we
I
didn't
didn't know
see
it was yours."
We thought that's what they did.
Well, that's just you don't know that. You know that, right?
No.
You don't know that that's what
They
they
didn't
did.
No,
take. That
they-
cab driver
no.
took it out.
Yeah, they
Apparently.
said that it was the cab driver.
Allegedly.
Because there is no video of
Are you
anyone
sure?
actually touching.
Yeah.
No, there's a video of them running to this taxi saying that they wanted to steal someone's cab, and then
All of a sudden they
all
were
of a sudden
us.
the bags were on the ground.
Either I saw it or she said she was
Yeah,
going
she
to do
said.
it.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
said
she
she
said
was going
she-
to do
she
it, but
said
she
she was
never
gonna do it.
actually picked. There's never a video of her.
Well, you don't see
grabbing
the
them.
video,
No.
but it happened.
No, it actually, the only reason why I can almost say with certainty that it didn't is because that is against the rules. Teams are not allowed to touch other teams' bags. So
Okay.
had they touched our bags,
Yeah,
they
but
would've-
they wouldn't have to. She wouldn't have to touch it
No.
physically. She could
No.
tell the cab driver.
Exactly.
Yeah, they
yes.
could've done
Yes.
that.
So that is okay.
Because there's a couple. There's also no contact. Like
No,
you can't
no.
fight or nothing
No,
like
no.
that.
No,
If
no,
you get in
no,
an argument,
no,
you're all
yeah,
done, right?
exactly.
If you got in a physical
You
thing.
face penalties, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, you, I think, you were kind of a stabilizing force because you were so easygoing. I think
Oh.
you were. Well, you're both easygoing people.
No,
I think.
he definitely taught me a lot about patience.
Really?
A lot. I think the reason why, once I during the show I referred to myself as Providence Amy. I think the reason why Providence Amy wasn't out a lot of the show is because Jason was able to he really is the yin to my yang. Like when I start losing control and I start getting a little bit emotional, he always was
Right,
able to
right.
bring me back to reality and remind me that we were there to win $1 million, and we were there to win every single leg. And unfortunately, a lot of things that were out of our control
Yeah, you
happened.
came in second
so
a
we
lot of
kept
times.
Yeah,
coming
forever.
in second
Every time, just
every
about.
time. But you know what? That to us was almost winning every leg
Well,
of
wait,
the
did
race.
you win one?
We
We
leg?
won.
finally won one.
Yeah.
See, I told you I watched the
Indonesia,
show.
we won.
Yes.
I told you I watched
Yes.
the show.
You know what? You know, you put yourself in that position. You know, the Amazing Race isn't easy on purpose. So you're you know, you're struggling. You have a lot of fatigue. You're traveling, so there's jet lag, and you're in other countries. You don't know the language. You don't know what's going on. You don't know the culture, and then you're going through these really strenuous physical activities and challenges. And what's more stressful than that? Put that on top of somebody that you know, you don't maybe get along with very well or in that situation. And Amy and I only knew each other for a year when we got on the race. So we weren't in that competitive environment ever before. So we struggled at first, I think, but when we came around and we really got a feel for, you know, how we competed together and we became a great team. We kind of mastered the art of working together. And those second place finishes started to turn into first place finishes.
Well, at least it turned into first place finish when it mattered. You know, I'm happy that looking back, I'm happy that we got all of those second places because to us, a couple of them actually were first places because, you know.
There was one that really should have been a first place.
Well,
Poland
because,
should have been a first place.
Portugal.
No.
Oh yeah, Portugal, Poland, you know,
and
Alain, you know, 2 express passes were used. You know, we checked in seconds after the first place, which was Tim and Marie, and they was 14 seconds after they had used an express pass.
And they had two to start with. Didn't they get the two?
But then the second time, and then another time that we came in second place was 14 minutes after Travis and Nicole when they used the express pass. So if you really take into consideration how long it takes for you to complete a task, it's more than 15 seconds, and it's more than 14 minutes. So those technically in our head, those were first place finish for us. But the other reason why I'm glad that we were second place that many times is because we actually flew under the radar. Because we never were first place, a lot of the other teams really underestimated us. But when we look back, I actually was really good about keeping notes.
I didn't underestimate you.
No, well, that's because you saw
Providence
everything.
Amy, why would you?
Because you saw everything that we were doing, but other teams were never racing together, so other teams never see what it is that you're actually good at and what you're not good at, or how you interact with other people and how you deal with the challenges. So
I think when it came to the challenges, Amy and I, we blew through them. We did a fantastic job together as a team and as individuals when we were doing the roadblocks.
Did they have any real eating contest?
They did have one.
Indonesia. I hate it when it tries to go like Survivor.
I'd meet you. That's like one of my worst fears.
No, I don't think it was trying to go like Survivor because.
But they've done that a couple of times.
We had to eat king cobra.
But you know what?
Like
the difference
in front of live king cobras.
Yes, but
had to eat the king cobra in front of their sisters and brothers,
looking at
mothers
you
and fathers.
with all ready to strike.
Yeah.
But
that wasn't
you know
easy.
What? The reason why I don't feel it's anything like Survivor is because the way that
No,
the show.
it's not. Except when they bring you the food. Not
fine.
Yours, they didn't really have. Just the king cobra is not a big deal. But when they have the living things, you gotta eat them and stuff. Real gross things.
When you do have to do that, it really is part of the culture, and that's what I love about the show. That all the challenges that we do, and all the eating, and where we travel, what we visit, the places that we visit, they really have a lot to do with the culture.
Right.
And you know, we actually had the opportunity to sit with the creator after the show and talk about
Phil?
And no, Bertram.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And talk about the show. We are incredibly grateful for the opportunity. But you know, that's one of the things that we really enjoy about it is that it's a learning experience for those that watch it
I
and
love
to learn about
That's why
the
I started
cultures.
liking the show because I've been the very first show they had. One of the places they went to was
New York City.
Morocco.
Yes.
Morocco.
Yep,
They're in Morocco. And I had on my other show, Bob's Big Adventure, that morning or that day, a show in Morocco, in Marrakesh, Morocco, I interviewed this guy that sold rugs. It's Persian rugs. Rugs stacked this high, a room full of millions of dollars worth of rugs.
Any flying ones?
No flying, nothing was flying. And don't you know that night on The Amazing Race, the clue was in the rugs, and that guy handed them. I kid you not. I couldn't believe
There's
it.
the connection right there.
Said, I cannot believe this. And then they went to 3 places that year that I had been to already in my life. But not that, not like the same guy, but the same places I'd been to. When they went to Russia another time, they went to Red Square another time. They went to Kazakhstan, and I've been to Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
And some of these crazy places that I've been to, I said, wow, this is cool. Oh, I've been there. And in fact, last year, no, you didn't go to, did you go to Thailand?
No, we didn't.
It was the year before. They had one of the stops where they stopped and then left from the next day was this temple in Thailand. I've been there, took pictures. I said, wow, I stood right there where Phil's standing.
We were in the temple.
By the way, I just came back from Thailand again.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Last,
yes.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were in the temple in Abu Dhabi, which was
in the mosque. Yes.
in the mosque. That was beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, incredible.
You're lucky you got in a mosque because other than that show, they would never let you in a mosque.
Yeah, we hadn't heard that.
Because I had, oh my God, I thought I was going to get, well, I got the worst beating of my life in Morocco. I'm not physically beaten. Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I got off, I didn't realize, after taking
Did
a trip.
that make Bob's Big Adventure series?
No.
Did it make the edit?
I was in Rabat, Morocco, and I wanted to go to, not Marrakesh was another part of that trip, but Casablanca. And I took and nobody else wanted to go in my group, so I went myself. And I'm on a train for 5.5 hours. End up sitting with a guy from Morocco, but he went to college in Michigan State, so he spoke fluent English. And I'm sitting there, and I got a big video camera on the table with us the whole time. He never mentions to me that, oh, by the way, don't put that camera on when you get off this train because they'll get mad at you. I didn't know about Ramadan. Ramadan is their holy time, right? So we get off the train, and I see these people in the woman in the burqa. So I put the camera on. I'm going, well, how do you pick out a girlfriend from these girls like this, right? And I'm walking. All of a sudden, somebody cold cocks me. Well, they didn't knock me out. They hit me really good, though. And I turn like this to go after them to look at who's hit me. And another guy plows me here, and another they're hitting me. And I'm like this, ducking with the camera. And all of a sudden, somebody grabs me by the arm. End up being that guy. Runs me out of the place. We ran a couple blocks before he stopped. I'm all bloody. He said, oh, I should have told you that you're supposed to use a camera during Ramadan. I felt like whacking him.
That doesn't happen on The Amazing Race. No. They're pretty good about.
No, they got it covered. They've already worked that, obviously, because
right.
they know these people that they give the clues to. They work that out. They practice with them and all that stuff.
It's a great production. We really enjoyed our time on the race. What an adventure we had. I mean, going from Chile, all the way through from the South Pole basically to the North Pole.
So what'd you do? 42,000 miles?
35.
35, because it usually goes between 30 and 45,000 miles.
Yeah.
9 countries, 35,000 miles.
And somebody always stumble. Well, not so much anymore because people all realize now at the end you got to remember like the flags.
Right.
You got to remember the.
We had to remember the currency which was our challenge.
Right.
Which. We did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
we did. Our currency wasn't that difficult, especially because I've done some traveling, and we ended up being in Europe for a couple of legs. So at least a couple of the answers were euros. The only one that we had difficulty with was
dirhams.
Yes, the currency for United Arab Emirates, and that's because. During one of the legs,
what is it?
Yes, I still don't know, and I'm probably never going to know because I will never go back anyway.
We only had $1 for that leg.
Exactly, we had $1. We had $1 for one of the legs.
One American dollar.
We had to
worthless in Abu Dhabi.
We had to drive ourselves. We never used the money there, so it didn't make a difference. Like it just, $1. So we couldn't remember, but process of elimination, and then it was a puzzle and.
Right, if you had them all the rest of them.
Exactly.
Now, what was the place you liked the best?
We really loved Portugal. It was a beautiful day. It was a great leg of the entire race.
Are you Portuguese or Spanish? What are you?
My family's from the Dominican Republic.
Okay, so you're Spanish.
Yes.
Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Yes, I thought so.
Yeah.
So,
she yells at me in Spanish sometimes.
Oh, really?
Can you believe that?
Does she beat you in Spanish?
Yeah, she beats me with a Spanish bat.
I'm Dominican, but I'm not a baseball player.
But Portuguese is close to Spanish, right?
Yes. Luckily for us, I do speak Spanish, so I was able to really communicate with the locals.
Huge. We had a huge edge. When we ripped open the first clue and we were going to South America, I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, no kidding. That's huge.
She carried us through the first, 25% of the whole race.
I knew that helped you a lot. I knew that helped you a lot.
It was
when you were
critical.
going right away to South America.
But the best part was after we got out of all the Spanish-speaking countries, we're in like Norway, and she's still speaking Spanish to everybody. I'm like,
it doesn't work.
I wasn't speaking
what
Spanish
are you talking about?
You were speaking Spanish.
What are you talking about? You don't have to speak Spanish to everybody. I'm like, the lady talks English. I just heard her talk to the other guy, and she's like,
they get it over us so much. I've been to Norway.
They do. They definitely do.
Finland and Sweden, and those countries, they all speak all their languages.
Exactly.
And most of them speak English too.
Yep. Yeah.
And I know kids. I know a lawyer friend of mine. His kids are 5, and Rocco's 5, and his brother's 3, and they speak English, Swedish, and Finnish.
Yeah.
I mean,
we are at a disadvantage in this country. I
Yes.
feel like, you know, I would like to study a few more languages. That's something I learned being on The Amazing Race, and I was really jealous that, you know, what are you, bilingual, trilingual? She can communicate with anybody, and
Right.
I'm completely useless in that situation. I was like,
now, where are you from? I just says Boston.
Yeah,
but where?
I'm from South Attleboro, Mass. So right over.
Oh,
the border,
and you pulled that Boston card from
well,
South
I
Attleboro.
mean, you know, who knows South Attleboro? Who knows that?
I love that when people say that. Oh, I'm from New York. Well, where are you actually from?
Montauk.
Oswego or something, New York, up on the border or something like that. But everybody does that. I knew it wasn't.
Well, we wanted to represent Boston Strong too, which
right,
we did,
which is good.
And don't forget, we were on the race. I think a month and a half after the marathon bombing. So
that's when it was filmed.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, we were. When we left, we wanted to bring that spirit with us, and
well, I think that gave you a lot more people supporting you.
It did.
It did. I
think it
so.
did.
Yes, when we started the race, immediately after missing that first flight, leaving Los Angeles, we were a little
Now, what happened with that
disappointed.
anyway? Why'd you miss the first flight?
Because we're the only ones that didn't know how to get to LAX. We're in the middle of nowhere. You know how many highways are out there?
How big the highways are?
Yes.
Yes. We, you know, we happened to just catch the second flight, and immediately we are completely deflated. And that competitive spirit that we had just yes,
blew
it was
right
gone.
out of you,
But
right?
you know what?
Did you get in a fight?
We didn't get into a fight.
That's what I
got
mean.
very emotional. I actually just got emotional. I got really sad because, you know, leading up to this, you make the Amazing Race, and our worst fear was to be the first team eliminated. But I remember sitting at the airport, and we're having a conversation, and he still has his Boston Strong T-shirt on.
Right.
And that reminded us of why we were there.
Okay.
You know, it was about really showing that we could get through anything.
Overcome all adversity.
Exactly. After everything that our community, not just in Boston, but all of New England, how they came together and really were there for each other and supported each other. I think that's the way that we ran the race ultimately. Like, by the end of it, the reason we didn't waste any time complaining and fighting is because we realized that it was just a waste of time. Like, why? We would rather focus on the positive aspects of the experience versus the negative ones.
Once you get that taste of losing and being in last place, we got that right away.
Right.
And the
you
first
got it out of the way.
We got it out of the way. So, and I think that we carried that with us. And really, I agree with what Amy said. I mean, we ran the race with a lot of integrity, and we worked together as a team, which you know, your true colors shine no matter what, whether the camera's on you or not.
That's right.
After 24 days of straight filming, there is no hiding anything. Your personality is going to come out.
It's going to come out. It's going to come out. People ask me all the time, are you the same way off camera or on camera as you are off camera as you are on camera? This is me, kid.
Yeah, this is not a show. It's not acting. There's not. I mean, you are in real life situations, and we are at each other's throats sometimes, trying to figure out getting through it, and we figured it out. We figured out how to work together, and that was the most important thing. You know, how to support each other. You know, how to, let's go Amy and let's go Jay, and really get through whatever struggles that we were facing at that time, and we did that. We persevered through that.
Now, when you pick challenges, is it you have to alternate, or you have to decide ahead of time, or?
Well, the detours are done by both team members. At that point, you pick whichever one you feel suits your team best.
But
now, with the roadblocks, it's only one person that's allowed to do it. And once you pick, you can't switch. So if I say I'm going to do this, there's no switching. He can't come in.
So when you
and
find out, you know what kills me? When somebody gets on the Amazing Race and they're afraid of heights, they're afraid of all the things that they do on the Amazing Race.
Exactly.
Why bother?
Which is what
I'm not
happened to
particularly
Jason.
fond of heights.
Oh, no, I'm not either.
And one of our strategies was, hey, listen, Amy, you do everything with the heights. I'll do all the physical stuff, whatever, all the puzzles, and you eat whatever, Cobra, whatever, and jump off the buildings.
Yeah, that really was our plan.
Guess what? It didn't happen.
No,
I had to jump off everything.
That's right.
Every time. Bridges, I had to go off. The first thing was paragliding right off of a cliff. And you were immediately 1,200 feet high in the air.
Oh, and
instantaneous.
you're afraid of heights.
Yeah. With a little Chilean guy on my back steering this parachute down. I'm like, this doesn't work for me at all. It was scary. It was good, but.
Well, even the last part when you were in Alaska and you had to go through that glacier thing, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
That was beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the colors. I mean, that's amazing. That's why I love traveling so much because you get to see stuff that you would never think of seeing or never be able to see in your lifetime if you didn't travel.
Right, and being on the race, we were in those situations where you wouldn't travel to these places for vacation.
Right.
You wouldn't go there.
No,
right?
that's why I'm so jealous about it because there's some of those places that I would never go normally.
Right.
Normally, I would never go.
Who would go to
Now,
a
did you go to
Kike Chili?
India?
No.
No, we didn't.
See, that's one place I don't think I would want to go to. And you know, people have asked me, where would you not want to go to? And I don't, that's one place I've seen one race there, they went to India and it was kind of really
I've been there
nasty.
a couple of times, and
You
it's
have?
a beautiful country. Yes, for someone that travels, the culture shock may not be that severe, but for someone that doesn't and isn't open to change and open to just to really immerse themselves in the culture, it might be a little bit uncomfortable.
Right.
Yes.
Over the top, yeah.
And we were in some of those situations. When we were in Indonesia, I mean, the dense population there was out of this world. I mean, and people riding mopeds are like, that's it. That's what you drive, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's a
Well,
smog.
I've been to China, same thing.
You can't even breathe. Literally, you can't even breathe. It's crazy how dense it is. So if you're not used to that, you know, you get there and it's a little culture shock.
Yeah.
You know, and we experienced that. I mean, I experienced that because I've never seen that.
All right, now how did it end up, Jason and Amy, after? Because I know a lot of people after the race they want to kill each other. how did you guys end up after? How do you think you changed between when you started the Amazing Race and since the Amazing Race?
Well, we started the race when we first applied. We submitted our
Who
video.
applied? That was the other question.
Yeah, we applied online.
Together?
Yes. We applied after
That's a whole nother segment. We have a whole nother story about that.
Yeah, definitely.
How we got on the race.
We applied. We didn't really know each other for very long. Went on after knowing each other for a year. And we knew that going on the race was either make us or break us.
Sure.
And luckily for us, the experience was about learning about each other, and we did just that. Off the race, we're better than ever. It literally fast-forwarded our relationship from us being together for a year to now it feels like we've been together for, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be either it's got to, like you said, make you or break you. It's got to put you together for a lifetime or they don't even want to talk to each other. Are we all done? Is that what you're saying? You guys spent an hour or half an hour with Bob.
Oh, yay.
But congratulations.
Thank you so
did you
much.
get your money already? What'd you do with your money?
We did get our money already, and we're doing some really great stuff with it. I'm in the middle of a campaign for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, teamcurestoday.com, if anybody wants to learn a little bit more about it. And we're trying to raise $200,000 by May.
What is it again?
Teamcurestoday.com. So cure, we're trying to find a cure. Teamcurestoday.com. And $200,000 by May. Right, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you, Bob.
And thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Nice
thank you very much.
You.
Pleasure to meet you.
And again, I'm jealous. This kid's got it all. You both got it all. You did
That's right.
Good. You did good together. You work better than
Beautiful lady
ever.
and $1 million. What's better than that?
Well, yeah, what is better than that? That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And folks, thank you for spending an hour with Bob and Mrs. Rhode Island 2014. How do you like that? Adrienne! See you next show, folks. Good night.